I want to welcome Katie, Savannah, and Michael, the accidentals, to the Thacker Chronicles. Finally.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Yeah, we're so excited.
Wow, you guys have had a pretty great 3 years since we kind of first got to know each other, haven't you?
It's been a roller coaster, that's for sure.
Looking back, obviously you guys got together, was it high school or was it before high school?
Katie and I actually grew up in the same neighborhood for like our whole lives, but we didn't talk to each other or know each other until high school. We were in the same orchestra program at our public high school, and we got thrown together for this crazy homework assignment. Instead of playing the classical music that we were supposed to be playing, we started playing the White Stripes instead, and we were pretty much a band that night. But we were also in this club in our orchestra called the Alternative Styles Club, which is like it's so nerdy.
Very cool.
You stay after school and you play songs on your orchestra instruments like Led Zeppelin, MGMT, Coldplay covers. We were so cool.
Like a brick in a washing machine, and the alleys look like bed sheets, wrinkled in the morning haze of gray routine. And the tangerines and coffee, the sweetest taste, could always drive you up a wall. If hunger is the freight train, then the pain unfolds the maps of urban sprawl. I made a comeback in a time and forced to memorize the lines upon the pavement and the page, behind the scenes and on the stage. Ooh, Empire escapade for two. Ooh, an alley serenade in view. Oh, the modern day begin, the loudest silence ever made came printed on the faded page today.
The first time I saw you here in town when you two came 3 years ago, I'm not saying that you didn't look like you were in command of the stage, because you really did. I was surprised at how in control of what you were doing at such a young age. But now you've added Michael, and I think that was a really important step. I got to be honest, I was like, what are you doing with that guy in the band? It's, you know, it's like, is he a hired gun? Is he going to go away? That was before I saw you play, and I was like, I don't know if I like this idea or not. And then I saw you play, and then it made complete sense. It actually freed you two up to be, your personalities just exploded out of that, because he's holding down the fort over there.
Oh yeah, well, it definitely has like some hired guns going on, you know.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah. You know, we could always use help loading out equipment. It's pretty much 90% of the job.
Oh, yeah.
But
so
yeah.
You got a pack mule out of the deal well as a drummer.
Oh yeah. We like to say that we get paid to load in and the music is free. So.
That's true.
Let the sun slide down the porcelain above cerulean cereal bowl sky. Let it hang for the homeless man, the polished shoes paid by smokes of passerby. You all just turn into suburban fathers, your claim to game wrapped around your fleeting cigarette. Why have a broken heart to hurt when I could always come at you hand to hand? jackets at the sleeves. One hand gives while one receives, and though the warmth spreads underneath, the cold wind nips like wolfish teeth. Ooh, a fire escapade for two. Ooh, an alley serenading view. Oh, the modern day brigade, the loudest silence ever made, came printed on the faded page today.
Well, we're pretty lucky. Savannah and Michael, and me, we kind of bonded into a little family, and so we have our family dynamic, and Michael's like the band's dad, and so he's like super responsible and has a great sense of direction and like kills spiders for me and stuff, and so we all kind of have roles that we play, and we balance each other out so perfectly that if we're on stage and something goes horribly wrong, like we have each other's backs all the time. So we're pretty lucky, and I love you guys. Love you guys. Yeah, it's a good dynamic.
You guys really kind of have that life of you've always been performing, really. I mean, are there I follow you on the social stuff, and you have pictures with your cat and things like that.
All the
and
time.
I think you guys work so much. How much of home life A do you get, and B, how much do you miss? Is there a part of it where it's can we not do that run of shows so we can just be at home? Is there any of that?
Well, my brother, he turns 15 this week. And it's been really weird, especially in the past couple years, because we've been touring full time. We did 230 shows last year. We're on 240 this year. So it's been kind of insane. And while I was gone, my brother was going through all these physical changes. So he's growing in height and stature, and his voice is getting deeper, and he's taller than me, and it's not okay, and all these things are happening, and I'm just man, am I living my life in an incorrect way? Am I skipping all this time, but living my life in skips and hops? Am I missing all this time with my family, and not being there as they grow up and kind of move on around me? And I think what we took away from that was the fact that we can't really take anything for granted anymore.
The ravens on the telephone, nevermore those frozen talons on the wire. Look upon those Avi militants, touching shoulders like a feathered Gothic choir. Even in the depths of winter, those frigid splinters can't withstand the warmth we hold. The warpath to destruction is paved with good intentions, but not all good is gold.
What's the coolest thing that's happened to you in this ride? I'm just going to make it the 3 years or so that I've known you. What's the really the coolest thing? Michael?
There's so many amazing moments that have happened. I think, well, personally for me, we released a song in April called Michigan and Again, and it kind of had this weird spreading effect of where it kind of touched people all over the country who either had family in Michigan or kids that moved away or went to college. And there's been some amazing stories that people have shared with us. We were in Colorado, and there was a woman who was there for getting her Montessori license, and her husband emailed us and said, hey, my wife is a big fan of yours. She's from Michigan, but she's been in Colorado. Would you play Michigan and Again for her, even though you're in Colorado? And so we did, and she came up to us after the show and gave us hugs. But there's been a lot of stories like that, and it's been really amazing to kind of see the reaction that people have had to it.
Savannah, how about you?
Oh man, that's a good one. We've played Michigan and Again a lot of places, including Ohio, which is my I didn't think we would ever play a Michigan song in Ohio. But,
and get out alive.
Right?
Yeah.
We've been to a whole lot of amazing places. So the traveling part for me is the most incredible part of what we've done. We went to Oregon and Seattle and Upper California recently, and we saw the ocean and all these crazy mountains and caves and redwood forests. Places look I don't know if I would be going to if I weren't doing what I'm doing with these particular people. It's so easy to tour with these guys. It's just like family. So it's almost like we're constantly on a family vacation, and you accept like the good and bad parts about that. You know, like you get like all these great experiences, but oh my God, the car rides. You know, it's just like crazy. But I love the concept of traveling place to place, and I love meeting these crazy new people. And kind of absorbing pieces of their lives. I love staying at people's houses and temporarily stealing their pets. You know, there's just so much that goes with what we do, kind of in the behind the scenes part of it, that I love. So that's really the most special part for me, I think, of what we're doing.
Katie, how about you?
Oh man, it's hard because we do so many shows, and when we say like 230 shows, like that could be like a theater show or like a festival or like opening up for someone. So every night is totally different. But we recently just did a little thing. We were home in Traverse City for like a weekend, and this woman hit us up, and she was like, it was a Facebook message, and she said, I work at this camp. It's kind of an adventure camp for girls aged like 13 to 18, and like they learn how to do like outdoorsy things and like get really confident in themselves and their abilities. And she's like, we picked Michigan again for their like summer song, and so they all know it. Would you come by and play for the girls? And so we came by to this camp, just Savannah and I on our acoustic instruments, and we played songs for like 200 teenage girls, and it was so cool.
Were they screaming like Beatles fans?
I've never felt like a rock star until that exact moment when you have a 13-year-old girl like, well, will you sign my arm? And I was like, yes.
The price he paid for cruelty. Ooh, a fire escapade too. Ooh, and now they serenading you. Oh, the modern day became the loudest silence ever made. Came bringing on the faded page today. Ever made game printed on the faded page today.
Well, I'm excited for you. I'm so excited we finally got to get together in front of cameras and stuff and talk. Next up, we're going to do a show sometime, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Be careful out on the road.
Thank you.
The Accidentals on Thacker Chronicles.